These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, March 14th, the day after the Celtics lost to the Houston Rockets. Not a great loss, but
strong showing.
Yeah.
Second best team wearing your colors on the floor, actually.
Yeah. Not great. But other than that, we'll get to that. How are you doing?
We have to cleanse the palate first.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, yesterday I went to get blood work done.
Ooh.
Because I had a physical last month and it took me a month. No, it's not bad.
I'm not a fan of needles, is why I said I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, it took me like a month to go just because like I didn't feel like going, or like I never had time, or like you're not supposed to eat before. So like was gonna go last week, and then I was like, oh man, like I already ate, so I can't go.
Okay. Sure.
So I go, and this place is like a walk-in like laboratory you go in, and it's like a deli. You take a ticket and they call your number. So I'm sitting there. My mom came with me because I didn't know where it was. She showed me.
Yeah, okay.
So we're sitting there, and this guy is like, so we're all like talking, like the people in the waiting room. Like I was next, and this guy's like, oh, like we all need this. Well, I was before him, but he's like, oh, I forgot to take a ticket. So he made like everybody like do a Yankee swap with the tickets. So the line was back in order because he was there. So like he took someone's ticket and they all just rotated tickets.
It's kind of fire.
I mean, my mom was saying like he's lucky that like people were nice to him. They could have been like, kick rocks, go grab a ticket.
I was gonna say the W people though, like that's such a nice thing to do because like they easily could have just said, nah, you're last.
Oh, he definitely had like a stomach drop. Like he was on a roller coaster moment when he realized everybody had a ticket but him. And by the way, I don't know how you don't take a ticket. Yeah. Like you sign in and the thing's like staring you in the face and it says, please take a ticket.
I will say it is weird. I've never had a thing like tickets at the doctor's office. That's never been a thing.
Well, that's always just the first episode of Curb is Larry is in line for the doctors and they do it by not appointment time, but when you get there. Mm-hmm. So that he holds the door for this girl and she goes in before him, then she gets seen before him and he's all pissed and complains. And then at the end of the episode, he comes back and they like fight each other down the hallway and they change the policy because they thought he was right. So it doesn't matter. And her appointment was first, so he has to wait anyway. But very similar.
That is funny. I mean, admittedly, I haven't been to the doctor in a long while. So.
Oh, I hadn't been since pre-COVID. This is 4 years almost. I hadn't done a physical.
Yeah, I haven't had a physical since pre-COVID either.
Well, the best thing about my physical was I scheduled my physical because I was injured. And then I got better and I went in and then I left and then I got hurt again.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I had nothing to tell her. And then after I'm like, hey, now I'm Derek Rose. And my knee hurts.
See, my issue was like early days of college, you're still riding the line of like, okay, I still see my pediatrician, need to find a real doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I just never made that step. And then COVID hit. And so I don't have a doctor. I haven't been to a doctor. I haven't gotten a physical since long while. I'm just, just chilling.
I think I've been seeing a physician just since I was pretty much like 10.
Yeah.
Because my pediatrician died or went blind. I think he went blind. He probably died too. But
okay.
I mean, you
sure.
hope for the best, but probably he was old.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had to see a new doctor. So I just started to go to my parent with like where they would go to the doctor. So I don't think I have to change.
Yeah.
But I have not been back.
That's what my girlfriend does. Like she's just always gone to the same doctor as her parents, so she didn't have to find a new one. But like I went to a pediatrician for years, right? And then I, was in the process, had to find it, and COVID hit, and I just haven't since. I've called places and they said we're not taking new patients at this time. I'm like,
I'm not taking new patients. You trying to hate money?
Yeah, cool. Sure, whatever.
Well, also the best thing about the doctors is it takes forever to get an appointment. It took like 3 weeks for me to get seen when my ankle was hurt.
I've gone into like urgent care to get like my ear fixed or stuff and like that. But
I'm going to see a chiropractor. Don't worry about it.
I remember, I probably talked about it in the pod. I went to urgent care because like I couldn't hear out of one ear. Right. And it's just like super blocked.
When was this?
I just went to a couple months ago.
I vaguely remember this.
Couldn't hear. It's happened multiple times for me. And you just go out, they flush your ear out and you're good to go. But I mean, I don't know if I've noticed it because I listen back to the pods every once in a while, or I like skip through. I go like this a lot on the show, and I can imagine it's infuriating for listeners. But like,
oh, what, clearing your throat? No, that's second. Like you don't notice it. Like when you listen, you're
Okay.
not really paying attention.
I hope so, because like I do it a lot because I have like I remember going to the doctors years ago and they said like I had a post nasal drip and they gave me some stuff to fix it and it just never fixed it. And so I always have like stuff in the back of my throat that like I have to like
Yeah,
clear
I've
it.
had
It
stuff in
never
my
works.
throat since like 2019.
It's
Or
awful.
not 2019,
Horrendous.
2021. Give myself a little bit too much credit. But I got real sick. And it just never went away. Some
Yeah.
say it might have been COVID. Never tested. World may never know if I had COVID or not.
Yeah,
But
when I do
it's still there.
so I like because of it, like my nose is often runny. So I like wipe my nose or whatever. I'll just like, try to clear it from dripping down. And I did Glee Club in high school, which I've talked about. Show choir is what it's actually called, but for those wondering, it's Glee Club. So when you're on stage, you can't touch your face, or you shouldn't touch your face, right? Like because you're dancing, you're singing, right? And if you touch your face, it ruins the choreography and people will notice and you get points deducted. No, it's an actual thing. Like if you're off beat, if you're moving without like the rest of the group, like you lose points, and it's like it's how like I said, lose points, lose a competition. So whenever I'd finish, my nana who came to the shows would come up, she goes, "You gotta stop touching your face." And she'd always yell at me for like wiping my nose or stuff on the stage. And it still happens, and she still yells at me whenever I'm like sniffling. Like
Does
when
she
I go
listen to the
theater and stuff.
shows and be like, Jack, you're a dumb idiot? Why do you keep sniffling?
No, but speaking of my nana, she texted me about the Celtics a couple days ago. I forget which game it's after, so it could be good or it
Tell
could
her
be
it's
bad.
not
But
good for her health. Just don't watch.
I remember her talking about the Celtics at some point. It was February 25th. Who would they play on February 25th?
February 25th.
I knew it was a while ago, but I remember seeing him like, oh wow, Nana's watching the game. It's kind of fire. It
I got
was
nothing.
Philadelphia. It was the Tatum shot. She texted me.
Oh, that makes sense.
She goes, that was the way to end the game. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, it is, Nana. So that was fire. But yeah, man. So
Tell you what, I didn't get the message. You got a message from your grandma. I did not get a message from my place of employment today. Today was a work from home day. So I woke up at 5:15. I went to the gym for 2 hours, got dressed, showered, then got dressed.
Yeah,
Drove all the way to work, and nobody was there. Just me.
Oh, I didn't realize the context. You were talking about this before we started recording.
Nobody was there because it was supposed to snow and there was a parking ban.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, and they were like, "Don't come in," and everybody was like, "Okay," and then I just showed up. So I hung out there and did some work. Like you can still go in and stuff. I just left before 3, which is when the ban was. And I don't know. Maybe I'll find out if it's like that tomorrow. Wouldn't that be great? Then I could sleep in.
Love to see it. Speaking of waking up, I was telling Sam about this before we got on the show today. My sleep schedule is notably terrible. So last night, I was playing video games and I got a couple articles done, and I got in bed at like 4:15, went to bed I was asleep by 5 or whatever. So I wake up this morning, I look at my phone because I look over, I'm like, oh, it's probably super late. How late did I sleep? I look over, it says 7:30. And because I went to bed so late, right, at like 5, my first instinct was, did I sleep till 7:30 p.m. in the day? I panicked. And like Sam was telling me, we talked about this before the show. He was like, you could have just looked on Twitter or looked on et cetera, but like
there's like a million ways for you to find out if it's
well,
AM or PM.
I figured I would have just seen like,
and the way you found out is not the way. Like that is like the last thing I would do.
In a panic, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, right? Because like she gets home from work at 4:30. So if I called her, she'd either be in the living room or at work, or whatever. And I don't know why this is the first thing that went through my head, but I was like panicking. I was like actually like upset.
Jack's instinct was to call rather than get up and walk around and see.
Well, no, because it was dark outside. It was raining and snowing, so it looked like I looked out my window. I was like, it looks like nighttime right now because it was dark.
Okay.
So that's why like I was confused. And
in fairness, this is almost the time of year, very close to it, where 7 p.m. and a.m. look the same.
Yeah, and like in my head, I was panicking, right? So the thought processes don't make sense when you're panicking like that. So in my head, I was like, okay, I could just look like I thought of this. I was like, I could look there, but like in my head, I was just like, well, even if I see this time, like it'll just look like if it was 5 a.m. versus 5 p.m. It wouldn't say p.m. or a.m. It would just say 5 whatever. And so I called my mom. Like in a panic. I'm like, Mom. She goes, she's nervous now too. She's like, what? What do you want? Well, like, what's wrong? I go, what time is it? And she goes 7:30. And I go, a.m. or p.m. She goes, a.m. I just got to work. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like
And I was like, oh, okay.
I would probably be
Well,
so
'cause
furious if somebody called me for that reason.
well, I
Like I
just
would give you the
I
same rundown I just gave you. Like you could have checked Twitter, you could have
well, she
like
doesn't
checked your
care.
phone.
I call her at work all the time, but, like, because in my head, I'm like, "No, why did I just sleep for 2.5 hours?" Because I didn't wake up, like,
Also, only you
super
can like be like, did I wake up at 7:30 p.m.?
I know,
Because
it's a
like
very
usually when people experience that feeling, it's when they fall asleep in the afternoon and then they
yeah.
wake up and it's dark and they're like, oh man, did I sleep till 8 a.m.? Jack's like,
Mhm.
oh man, did I just not wake up today? Because I stay up till 5 a.m.
Uh,
like a fiend.
well, yeah, pretty much. Because when I woke up, I didn't feel particularly like, I felt like I could have woken up and just, like, gotten up and been fine,
We
right?
we might have been awake at the same time this morning when I got up,
Probably, right? But I was like,
which
how
is
am I feeling,
crazy.
like, okay if I only slept for 2.5 hours? So I went back to sleep. I didn't end up getting out of bed till, like, 2 PM, right?
It
Like, I
was
went
a
back
little
to sleep and
different
slept,
when I
but
was getting up at 3:30 every day or 3:15 and you'd be up. But if I'm getting up at 5:15, you gotta be sleeping.
mhm, yeah.
That's gonna be your goal from now on.
Well,
Let's
I've been
get to
playing,
it.
this game. I don't know if you've heard of Code Names. Been
No.
playing that online late with my friends, and it's basically so, like, there's a board of a bunch of different words, and there's 2 teams. You can have, like, two people on each team, 3 people on each team, and there's one, like, quote, unquote, "spy master" and one operative. We can play it online. We can probably make a custom Celtics list, and it'd be fun. That can be a stream game. But,
Perhaps.
so, like, there's a bunch of different words, and so, like, if it's a board of, like, 30 words, right? Like, one team has 8 words, and one team has 9 words, or 8 and 8, or whatever it is. Team who gets first gets 1 more. And there's one assassin word or death word or whatever. So say you were the spy master, you would see which words are your team's words. I would just see a board full of all the words with like no distinction. Your goal is to get me to guess all of your words without guessing the other team's words or the death word. So like you could write, say there's like Celtics, Thunder, Bucks or whatever, right? You could write NBA 3, right? Like okay, so there's 3 words that connect to the NBA. But if there's also a card that says Warriors, you run the risk of me also picking that word, right? So like if there's like stable, jockey, and main or something, you could do horse 3. But if one of those isn't your word, you know what I'm saying? So you have to like connect your words without leading them to the other. And so I've just been playing that a lot, and it's fun. But like I said, I mean, we could make a custom Celtics list and excuse me, run with that. So that could be
Oh,
fun. But
Myers Leonard back.
yes, signing with the Bucks for the rest of the season. I don't know how he's played. Um, I don't really have a strong opinion on
He
it.
might be better at video games.
Whatever. Yeah, maybe he's getting there.
Maybe.
But anyways, Myers Leonard, NBA. Speaking of the NBA, let's finally get into the Celtics. We talked 12
We
minutes,
have to
13
talk
minutes of
about this.
nonsense. We unfortunately do. As soon
Alright.
as the game ended, I tweeted out me
You actually
knowing I have to
brightened my
pod.
day. I was actually pretty upset, I'm not gonna lie.
You like the tweet? I
I
tweeted
did
out.
like the tweet.
Let me find it. It's a tweet I have to share. 'Cause
Jack
of the game.
tweeted out Manny from Modern Family doing the sign of the cross,
Good
praying,
show. Good show.
saying, I have to do a pod with Sam tomorrow. He's gonna be upset.
Yeah, here, we'll show it here. Me knowing I have to pod with Sam LaFrance tomorrow after this loss. Good tweet. I thought it was a good tweet.
Yeah, no, excellent tweet. I agree.
Good, good. All right, but
Not excellent. The Celtics, terrible.
I'll take the floor.
Another day, another terrible game.
Mhm.
They've lost 4 out of 6 now. They
5
are
out of
now
8.
significantly closer to 3rd place than 1st place, and they're doing it at pretty much the worst possible time.
Yep.
They're like, "Hey, we forgot how to play." Tatum's like, "I'm gonna shoot a bunch of threes." Marcus Smart's like, "I'm not gonna be effective anymore." And Grant
Mhm.
Williams is like, "I'm gonna do a Euro step and then throw the ball away," when I probably had a good chance of making the shot if I just took it.
Uh,
And then,
yeah.
in fairness to Missoula, he actually kind of was right. Like, there was a million things that went wrong yesterday. It wasn't just the threes. But he's starting to become so hard-headed that he can't be wrong about the three-pointers
Yeah.
that it's starting to actually, like, piss me off. And I'm not a blame the coach guy, but I'm sick of him, like, not, like, acknowledging it's not always the best. Doesn't mean it's like you shouldn't shoot threes. And I'm not even saying they lost yesterday because of threes. I actually think he's right. They did a lot of things terrible. Like, I don't know. One, losing to a team of guys that I knew 3 of them. 2, giving up a bunch of offensive rebounds in general, and then down the stretch on top of that, and just not playing defense. Got a lot of guys just standing there watching guys make threes on them.
Mhm.
You wasted a Jaylen Brown, 43-point game, whatever he had. Yeah, he was excellent yesterday. He continued his excellence. The smash the odds pick hit yesterday by a mile. He had over 24.5, almost beat it by 20. I won my bet on accident. I said Marcus over on the stream, but I put under in my phone, and I checked today, and I was like, why did I win this? And I looked, and I was like, oh, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, W, we take those.
And the Celtics don't.
Well, my thing is, I'm the biggest take the 3 guy out there, right? I've said this multiple times. We've done multiple shows where we debate this.
Yes, and we can't spend too much time on it today because it's redundant.
No. I have a point. It's not redundant today.
I know.
I feel like a lot of their threes weren't the right threes, and I saw this a lot on Twitter, and I agree.
Disaster.
What happened?
The office will be open tomorrow.
Unfortunate. Poor news. But I think it's important to get the threes the right way. And with how easy the Celtics were getting into the paint against the Rockets, like, not only could you have gotten into the paint and gotten some like layups, even if they were contested, you get a paint touch and it opens up a better 3. And they just weren't going through those progressions against the Rockets. They were settling. Jayson Tatum was taking threes. Marcus Smart was taking quick threes. Everybody was just taking these quick threes that ruined the flow of the offense. So as much as I'm fine with the threes, you got to fight for a better shot at some point, and then that can turn into another 3, right? If you getting into the paint and looking for a layup turns into another 3, I'm fine with that. But bashing your head against the wall, taking these pull-up threes that clearly aren't working, that's where the problem is. I don't care if they take 60 threes in a game. I don't care. As long as 50 of them are the correct way, right? And like I've said this multiple times, there's a time and a place for Jayson Tatum to take the step back threes, right? He can do it. He's a star player. But when it doesn't work the first 5 times, don't take 5 more, right? Like that's where the problem lies. Is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? And someone could turn around easily and say, well, then if they're just, getting into the paint and getting the right threes, but they're missing them, that's a little different because like that's an open shot and they've made them throughout the course of the whole season. Jayson Tatum has not usually been like great this season at taking those sidestep threes. He's shooting like close to a career low from 3 this year.
He's shooting 35%.
So
I saw your tweet. I had to know.
Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with threes when they're taken the right way. And against the Rockets, they seem lazy and they should have at least fought to get a better 3 by getting into the paint and looking for other shots. Right. And that was the frustrating part to me. And then defensively, how are you going to let the Rockets get that many open looks? Like Jaylen Brown got blown by a couple times. I'm not like pointing on him as the problem. I saw there was one play where Grant just helped on somebody making a cut from the paint and like didn't just let a guy get an open 3 in the corner. Like it was just a mess. The Rockets got way too many easy looks. Like you said, they got way too many offensive rebounds. I think they had 15 offensive rebounds. The Celtics had 10, so it's not like they didn't do a good job, but like you can't give up extra offensive possessions to a team that struggles on offense because then they'll get into a rhythm eventually. I think Tatum said it after the game. He's like, they're not a good team, but they have good players. Like Jalen Green can score if given the chance, right? Like Jabari Smith Jr. was 3rd overall pick for a reason. He can score when given the chance, right? They're not a good offensive team. Objectively, they're a terrible offensive team this year because they only take isolation shots. The Rockets, this is, you know what, maybe this is a hot take. The Rockets are what the Celtics are at their worst. The Rockets have been.
I was about to say something similar. I was like, well, the Celtics did that yesterday, so there you go.
The Rockets are what the Celtics would be if the Celtics played at the worst version of themselves for the entire season, right? And the Celtics would have a better record than the Rockets because they have better players. But like the style of offense the Celtics play when they're blowing these leads and when they're taking dumb shots is what the Rockets have done all year. And yet the Celtics still managed to lose to that teams because they lost the little things, right? There was issues on offense because the Celtics were taking dumb shots, but the Rockets were also taking not great shots, right? I could count on, a million possessions where the Rockets had 4 guys standing around the perimeter doing nothing and 1 guy isolating. But the issue is once that guy takes the isolation shot, someone would cut in and get a rebound. someone would grab something. The Celtics would turn the ball over immediately after, and then the Rockets would get another shot, right? And Jalen Green, as inefficient as he can be at times, right? He'll make a bucket eventually, right? He's a good player. He has got talent.
Hey, lit him
And
up yesterday in the first half at least.
So the Celtics just gave up way too many looks, played lazy. Jaylen Brown after the game said we got to be more mature than that. And I still think the Celtics have the talent and the ability and the ceiling to go far and win a title this year. But like this is concerning, right? Like it's gotten to a point where this is worrisome, right? Like
They're starting to make me think
about
about it. I was the biggest rah Celtics best team in the league guy for the first 3 months, and it's like they just stopped trying or stopped caring or like it's never good for us as podcasters or whatever you want to call us, people in the media, when our whole story every time we are doing a piece, whether it's a pod, article, whatever, is what the hell's wrong with this team. That's just the Grim Reaper towards the season. When that kind of thing goes on for too long and nobody knows what's going on with the team, it's usually pretty serious. I tweeted yesterday and got some crap for it. Like it's starting to feel like 2019 because it is. Because I'm sitting here thinking, why is this team all of a sudden bad? Why are they losing games? Were guys out of lineup? Yeah, guys were out of the lineup, but this team was supposed to be deep as hell coming into the season. It shouldn't matter. Marcus, not yesterday.
Oh, I was like, Rob, yeah, but like what?
Over like the last like month and a half since they've been bad, inconsistent. Marcus has been out. Jalen missed some time. Like there have been guys, obviously Rob, Horford missing back-to-backs, even though they've been good on back-to-backs. They haven't had as consistent of a group, I guess, if you want to call that an excuse. I don't really buy that because their team's supposed to be really deep. Plug and play is supposed to be a thing. Going forward, Tatum literally said, I didn't care for the first half. He said that yesterday. He said, I should have came out and played like I cared.
Yeah.
And you could see when it clicked for him because he started going to the basket.
Yep.
The shot they got at the end of the game was great. He just missed it.
That's the thing that I've seen a lot of people talk about on Twitter. Everyone was saying Jaylen Brown should have got the ball.
Maybe he should have, but the shot was still good.
This is what I tweeted. I tweeted something along the lines of like, do I think Jaylen Brown should have got the ball in the last possession? Absolutely. He played like worlds better than Tatum did that game, right? But like, you can't really complain about the look they got because Jayson Tatum got an open layup and just missed it. The ideal thing would probably be like, just put Jaylen Brown in the position Jayson Tatum's in, like coming down the court, right? Have Jayson Tatum play off the ball. So you can be mad at Missoula for that, but like you can't be mad at him for the quality of look they got because they got like an open layup. Tatum just missed it, and that's
yesterday to me is not a Missoula game.
No,
I don't think yesterday's the day to blame Missoula. I think there might have been things he could do better.
There are things. He's a rookie head coach. There's always going to be things he does wrong.
In my opinion, yesterday's on Tatum. And if you want to go even further, you could say Smart and maybe Grant, but I don't think Grant really played it.
D-White didn't really play well either, but yeah, I don't know. It was tough. It was very tough. I was going to say something about the game, but I can't. I was talking about.
Well, I'm looking at Tatum right now. All right. Yesterday, 22 points, loss. Saturday, 34 in a win. Wednesday, 30 in a win. Sunday, 40 in a loss, and it was a bad 40. Friday against the Nets, that game they blew 22 points in a loss. Game before against Cavs, 41. Before that, at Knicks, 14 points. At Sixers, 18 points. At Pacers, 31. That's all since the All-Star break, and he's been pretty garbage since the All-Star break. Even though I said he scored 40 points twice, and he had 31 against the Pacers, I mean, he scored above 30 5 times? 6 times, and he's still been terrible. That to me screams he's doing too much, or he has to do too much. Because I don't know if you can really blame him for taking as many shots as he takes. You can blame him for taking. Let's see, he shot. Oh, that was in the All-Star game. I was about to really lose my mind. 12 threes against the Pacers, 8 against the Knicks, 8 against Philly, 9 against the Knicks. The first time when he was really bad. Only 6 against Cleveland when he was actually good. 7 against the Nets, missed all of them. 17 against the Knicks in that double overtime game. 14 against the Hawks. and 10 against Houston. That's 4
Well,
straight games in double-digit 3-point attempts.
so
Terrible.
I was looking at 3-point attempts this season because my theory was like when Tatum takes more, they probably do bad, right? Like, because just go to the hoop. Unfortunately, this
The
is one of the
stats lying to
times
you. I don't care what you say.
when Tatum takes 11 or more threes, the Celtics are 15-2.
We'll do 10 or more.
10 or more, they are. Let's go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 28-6. Tough. It's tough when the stats don't match what we're saying. I do
It's
agree with you
fake.
though.
Like, stats lie. They lie.
Now I'll put it this way: when Jayson Tatum shoots 25% or worse from three, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are. What is this? 9 and or 8 and 9. So like below 500 when he shoots 25% or worse from three, right? And like it's just a matter of him making or taking them. And I think a big part of this is like I bet if I look through like a lot of games where he's taken a lot of threes and made a lot of threes, I bet you a lot of them are early in the season. Yeah, like December, November. So like March, fine. December, November, January, March, November, January. Two at the beginning of one at the beginning of February, one at the end. A lot of like early in the year ones. He's just been cold lately. And like as much as it's not great, like him shooting well is largely a barometer for how well the team does because he's the best player on the team. And the Celtics should have the depth recovered for him. This isn't me like making an excuse for how they played. They played bad. That's inexcusable. You can't lose for the Rockets. You can't lose in the fashion they did. But like Tatum shooting well and being the best version of themselves has a huge impact on the ceiling of this team. And you're just seeing that so clearly. And he needs to be better, right? Like he needs to work harder to get in the rhythm early so we can take those shots late. Cause I do believe like if he sees a few shots go down, if he gets the right shots, get to the basket, cut early in the season, we would see him like the first few plays of every game, he'd cut to the rim, make a backdoor cut. Smart would see him. He'd see the ball go down. And then from there, you take the shots you want because you're probably going to get in a nice rhythm. And he just hasn't been doing that. And I think a lot of it is him being lazy. And again, not an excuse. That's a problem. You can't be
The
doing
biggest
that,
trend,
but
I don't know how to put it. One, I think his 3-point attempts being as high as they are as of late is a bad thing. He's 35% for the year.
I think he's
Just
trying
been bad.
trying too hard to get out of this funk by like just chucking them.
I
Like,
guess. I mean, we saw him miss 20 straight. What was that,
not an
last year, 2
excuse.
years
Yeah.
ago?
Not an excuse also. Like I don't want to sound like I'm excusing Tatum. I'm like explaining why
I
think it's
think
happening.
just as big of an issue is it feels like the offense has not been run the same way. Meaning, for whatever reason, I don't know if he's hurt. Marcus Smart has not been the one distributing the ball.
Mm-mm.
And he hasn't been good. He hasn't. That's my guy, but he has not been good. He's not been effective. And it really sucks because when he's at his best, when he's balling out, this team's nasty. He was a big part of their playoff run last year. He was a big part of their hot start this season. He was putting up back-to-back double-doubles to start the year. We were going nuts. We were like, oh, my God, like he's building on last year. He gets hurt, comes back, and he's just not the same. Is he still hurt? If he's still hurt, sit him out. You have the depth to sit him out. Just sit him out.
I got something that backs up our point. Excuse me.
Thank
I was looking
goodness.
at Jason. Are you talking about the other point? I was looking at Jayson Tatum,
Yeah.
right? I was looking at plus minus, right? So when Tatum does well, when the team does well when he's on the court, Celtics should be good, right? And when he plays bad, they're bad. Let's take a look here. When Jayson Tatum records a plus minus of 6 or better, just 6 or better. That's not even a great plus minus, right? That's like a pretty average plus minus. 6 or better. The Celtics are 33-1. And the one loss is when he had a plus 6, right? So when he has a plus 7 or better, when the Celtics win the margin
Never
by
lost.
7 or more, when Jayson Tatum is on the court, they are 32 or excuse me, 32-0 when he beats the other team by 7 or more when he's on the court. That's really not a high bar for a Jayson Tatum led team, right? I feel like that
You're
should
not
be
asking
pretty
that
good.
much.
When Jayson Tatum has a negative plus minus, the Celtics are 3-14.
You know what's funny is it feels a lot
3-14.
like the playoffs last year where we would talk and I'd be like, it's really simple. All they have to do is not be the absolute worst.
All Jayson
And it
Tatum has to
feels
do
like
is
that
not.
again. Sure does. Tatum just selling games, throwing the ball off the backboard from 30 feet away. Right here.
It's tough.
3. Up, sidestep.
It's
3. You know what sucked is at the end of the third quarter, he made like a crazy 3, and I was like, oh man, like this sucks. Like he's gonna feel like he should be able to do this now.
Yep.
Isn't that like a terrible thing? Like you're upset that a player makes a 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even like a outrageous reason to be upset. Like we both agree. We both probably had the same feeling. We're like, oh, there's the negative reinforcement. There it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you want to look at this. You're talking about Tatum's been bad since the All-Star break, right? So what's that? The 14th and on?
Yeah, Pacers
No, 23rd and on. Pacers on. Plus minus for Jayson Tatum. -8, -6, -18, +4, -19, +4. 2 wins against Portland, Atlanta, +21, +13. Last night, -2. So the +7 threshold of an undefeated Celtics team has been met twice in those games. And the Celtics, those have both been Celtics wins. And the other 3 Celtics wins were a hard-fought game against the Pacers that went to OT. Jayson Tatum saving them with a 3 at the end of the game against the Sixers. And then the Cleveland game that Cleveland almost made a run at the end of the game to win the game, right? Jayson Tatum has not met, he's only met the +7 threshold since the All-Star break 2 times, and that has been Atlanta and Portland. And what do you know? Those 2 games, fairly convincing wins, right? Atlanta, they came back a little bit, but the Celtics halted the run, and that's what matters, right? So, like, Jayson Tatum just needs to be better, right? And my friend, I mean, if you're a longtime fan of Bannertown and everything we've been doing for years, you know Danny Hanley. I'll drop the government. I don't care. He doesn't care. He's on me. He's like, Jayson Tatum doesn't have that dog in him. He can't finish games. And I texted him after the Sixers game. You know, there you go. Have that for you. He texted me last night after Jayson Tatum smoked a layup. He goes, what about now? And he got mad at me for not responding. But the truth is, it just wasn't up till 2 p.m. And so, like, I just texted him back, like, yeah, he was bad, right? And he said, what did he say to me? That I responded with, eh. He said, is it time to admit that Tatum, while he is a very good basketball player, does not have that dog in him? I said, eh. Because I think when he's at his best, Tatum is,
I mean,
a good player.
Just like
right?
Game 6 against Milwaukee.
Everything.
Like, that was a big game. Showed up,
Exactly.
had a monster day. Like, good for him. Find it
Right
again.
now
Where did it go? Why do you, like, all of a sudden, like,
Well-
is this like a superstar thing? Like, you don't think you have to try? You haven't won anything yet. You have to try. Until you win, you have to try. That's the rule.
This is my thing. So earlier we talked about, like, this could get dangerous for the Celtics in the playoffs. Like, they're no longer just like, oh yeah, this team has a really good chance to win the championship. There's some doubts, right? And rightfully so.
Are they
They've been
still
bad.
the favorite? Do we know?
No, I don't think so. Oh, you mean betting odds wise? Let me check.
Yeah.
Where do we go? DraftKings. I had to guess. I'd say no. I'd say
I would
Milwaukee's
guess no.
the favorite. I think Milwaukee's got to be the favorite right now. I mean, I saw it on Twitter yesterday. Milwaukee's going on a run like the Celtics did last year at the stretch of the season.
Yeah.
I genuinely think, like, for the first time all season, like what the Celtics have been playing lately, I'd probably go with the Bucks to win the title over anybody right now, right? Like, and that's not a shot at the Celtics. I still think they have a chance.
No, it is.
But
have it be a shot. F those guys, bums. How about you win some games? Why don't you beat the Rockets? Everybody else can do it. Why can't you? Scrubs, make a layup. How about you make the dunk you missed in the first half? My God. I mean, these guys, it's like they're trying to lose some of these games, and that's why it's so frustrating. They got flat out beat one time since the All-Star break. One time. When they went to Madison Square Garden, they just didn't have it that day, and the Knicks did. And that was just one of those days. They beat Cleveland after that. Good on them. Blew a 28-point lead to the Nets. Blew a lead to the Knicks. They don't even have the second Cleveland game in here on ESPN. Shame on them. Oh, it's because Tatum didn't play.
It's very close.
Blew
It's
a lead in that game.
It is on DraftKings. The Celtics are still the favorites, but it's plus 340 for the Celtics, plus 360 for the Bucks. But on FanDuel, the Bucks are plus 290. The Celtics are plus 310. So it's very, very close between those two teams. But Celtics no longer the heavy favorites to win it. And I don't blame them, but I will say, when we were talking about the playoffs, I think the Celtics play better against good teams, right? Which, again, this point in the year, it's not an excuse. You got to get up. You got to win these games. You got to stay hot to going into the playoffs, right? But I think, objectively speaking, the Celtics get up more against good teams, right? Would you agree with that?
Truth
I think
to that.
they step up. However,
there always has been. It's been a staple of this core that they have.
So once they get into those second and third rounds, I think they'll be fine, right? I think they'll put up, at the very least, they'll put up a good fight. They can compete with the Cavs, the Sixers, the Bucks. Like, I think they could I think they could beat any of those 3 teams in a 7-game series. Obviously, I think the Bucks would give them the hardest time, but like given the right situation, given the right play, if everyone, plays the right way, which they usually do against good teams, I think they can get it there. That being said, if they go into the first round, they see, what would it be? Like the Knicks. Let's say they see the Knicks, say they see the Heat, and they think, oh, we got this. They could lose in the first round, right? Like if they get their head up their ass too quick,
Yeah.
like a part of me wants to believe like they'll realize it's the playoffs. They'll realize they can't do this shit anymore. But like, at what point are they going to realize it? Is it just like, oh, once the playoffs on will click? You can't go into the playoffs just assuming that. You gotta get in a rhythm at some point. So like, as much as I think the Celtics will be able to handle the Heat or the Knicks in a 7-game series, because I do, they're more talented, and I truly believe that once they get to the playoffs, they'll click into gear and they'll realize it's go time. But with how they've played lately, a part of me is worried that they're gonna just think, oh, first round we got this, and they'll slack off, and it could be an upset.
I sure would like to know what it's going to take for them to be like, oh, we should start trying now.
I think
Like you thought they figured it out. Like they were like, wow, like that was really bad. We choked 3 straight games, and they came out and beat the brakes off Portland, beat up on the Hawks a little bit. They're like, oh, no, we don't have to try anymore. We're going to Houston. Well, we're still in a tight race at the top of the East. Philly's creeping up on us, 1-5 straight. No, we're not going to try. Milwaukee's on a heater. We'll just keep falling further behind them. We really kind of benefited from home court in the playoffs against Milwaukee last year. Oh, don't need that this year. We're nasty. You don't have to try. I don't get what it's going to take for them to snap out of it. What do you need? What else do you need? Your coach is getting berated in post-game press conferences by the reporters because you just chunk a bunch of threes.
And unfortunately,
go ahead.
I think that point might just be the playoffs. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because like, it really shouldn't be. You really should go into the playoffs feeling good, but like I feel like this is my excuse me, sorry. Wow, that one was bad. I'm like self-conscious of like me coughing now. I think like my official prediction of what I legitimately think is going to happen is that they play like this for the rest of the regular season. Unfortunately, I think they'll go like something like, I don't know, like how many games do they have left this year?
They are what? I don't even know what I know other teams' records. I don't know their record. Let me look.
So let's say, I mean, what am I doing? I can just fucking Google this. Give me a sec. The Celtics have played 69 games this year. Nice. And they have 13 left. I think they go something like 8-5, right? Like 8-5, maybe 9-4, maybe like
terrible.
Yeah, maybe even like 7-6. I think they bad. I think they struggle the rest of the season. And I think that could lead to them losing the first game of the playoffs, right? Like say they get the Knicks, say they get the Heat. I think they lose the first game, right? And I think that's the point where they go, oh shit. Like we need to
Sorry,
stop.
If you have to lose a home game in the playoffs to snap out of it, that's pretty sad.
I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, right? Like I think that's awful. And like I said, unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen. But I do think at that point they'll click and they'll win the series in 5 or 6 games. And then in the second round and the third round, I think they'll realize, okay, these are good teams now. Let's lock in. And if they get Philly, I think they'd win in like 5 or 6. And if they get Cleveland, they probably lose in 6 or 7 or win in 6 or 7. And then Milwaukee really is just a toss up for me. Like I think it's a coin flip at this point. And I see a lot of Bucks fans like, and I can't even like clap back at Bucks fans saying like, well, the Bucks are hot right now and the Celtics are playing like shit. Like I think the Bucks would roll the Celtics. And as much as I want to say, I mean, these are still 2 good teams. Like I can't really blame them with how the Celtics have been playing. So, you know, what
Celtics,
I'm saying? Like,
not very motivated. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, I like maybe they don't look at the standings. It's pretty bad when Tatum comes out after the game is like, yeah, I wasn't trying.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what he said yesterday. He owned it. Like, good for him. He did own it. He stepped up. He does tell the truth. But, I mean, really, you're not trying? Your team's been on a skid. Did you win 2 straight coming in? Yeah, you lost the 3 before that. It's pretty terrible. You're supposed to be this wagon of a team. You're losing to the Rockets in an important stretch of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Cut it out.
I have a question for you, too. I have a question for you, too.
Yeah.
What do you think the playoff rotation will and should look like? Because that's a tough question right now.
That is a tough question. Obviously, Smart, White, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Rob, Brogdon, that's 7. I think there it becomes matchup based. After that, it's matchup based. Grant isn't a shoo-in anymore.
So
he's been mid. He's not confident.
my thing
and
is,
he's pretty shook every time he's out there. So
I agree. My thing is, I think against Philly and Milwaukee, you almost need Grant, especially for the defense, right? Like you need Grant to play defense on Embiid and Giannis because he's probably your second best defender on both those guys. Outside of that, I think you might just have to go to Hauser. Hauser's been really good, right? And he didn't shoot well against the Rockets last night, but like when he releases the ball, I think it's going in. Like he's that good of a shooter. Like he's, and on top of that, I'm gonna whisper this because it's crazy. He's been a pretty good defender. Like he's been fine on defense for the most part. So I don't have a problem with Hauser in any situation. So I think you got to roll with him. And even against the Bucks or the Sixers, like if Grant doesn't have it, trust Horford to go with those guys and just throw Hauser in there. Like he's been good. And it's tough because, like I said, I think you really do need Grant against the Sixers and the Bucks to guard Embiid, to mess with him, to guard Giannis, to mess with him. But if he's not pulling up from three, if he's not shooting those with confidence, if he's doing this Euro step bullshit where he's driving by guys, like you got to go with Hauser. Yeah, it's tough, and I'm the biggest Grant guy on the planet, but it can get tough.
Well, it would be really good if Grant didn't look like he was in Space Jam and they took his basketball abilities away. Like that'd be really cool, as if he was out there and looked like he had any inkling of knowing what he was doing right now. He just looks lost. It's really bad. Like he has the yips really, really bad.
And I thought he was breaking it too against, like he put up a bunch of shots against the Blazers and he looked confident. Even against the Cavs, he was fine in the loss. But outside of the free throws, obviously, like
it was very funny just because
he did play so well.
He needed that and he screwed it up.
Oh,
all he needed was one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not even like mad. That was like the one I was least mad about.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because they didn't have anybody. It was just because it was so funny. I was like, all right, that's like kind of worth it.
And
like
hey,
I got a laugh out of it.
JB missed a crucial
missed a
one
free
last
throw
night
yesterday. Too. You bet. That's how they do it. What the hell is
Very
this?
tough. Are you looking at brackets?
Yeah, I'm looking at brackets. This is terrible.
Do you got one yet?
I'm trying.
One? That's fine. That's fine. It's frustrating to me because I feel like Grant is now in the Pritchard situation almost.
We're gonna do this one. And man, maybe we're not. Oh my god, it's so big.
That's all right. I'll make this point while you finish up looking for stuff.
We'll just do this.
A lot of the thing with Pritchard is like you need his skill set at times, but like he doesn't play often enough where he can develop a rhythm. And then when he does play, he can be rough. And I feel like we're into that flow with Grant now, which is unfortunate because like you do need his skill set in the right matchups. You need him to guard Giannis. You need him to guard Embiid. You need his big body. You need, him to shoot those threes in the corner like he did against Milwaukee in Game 7 last year. But he's been out of a rhythm for so long that he's out of the rotation. And when he's out of the rotation and doesn't have a consistent role, he can't be consistent on the court. And this isn't me like making up an excuse for Grant because he's been bad when he's got the opportunity and you need to make the most of your opportunity. But like, it just sucks at this point of the year for him to be playing like this because you do need a skill set. But anyways,
you definitely could benefit from having a good Grant, and he was important in the playoffs last year. You cannot deny that. I agree,
and I think he still could be this year, but right now it's looking on the ropes. Anyways, we've talked enough there about the disappointing Celtics. Do we have a bracket located?
I went to double check one more thing, so I have to load it back up. I should have tabbed it. That's what I should have did.
That is fine. I'm excited.
I can't deal with this team anymore. It's infuriating. Like just don't play like assholes. Like that's really all we're asking. The reason why everyone is so mad about the Celtics right now is not because they're losing games. It's because they're losing games that they should be able to win. When they got killed by the Knicks in MSG, it sucked or whatever. But at the end of the day, actually, let me just double check this. At the end of the day, they just got beat that day. These are games they're beating themselves. And it's heartbreaking to watch. What the hell is this?
What are you going back and forth on right now?
I'm trying to find the best version of this, so we're gonna go with this. All right. Okay. This is the end of it. All right. So today, it is still March. Actually, what we should have just do the college bracket, but we don't know enough about that, so we're not gonna do it. It's not original, not fun. Yeah. So we're not doing it.
When does that start? When is the tournament this week?
We are doing ice cream. Now, I was trying to... Now, this is going to be kind of tough. But I was trying to find just generic ice cream flavors. They were all trash, so we went with a Dairy Queen bracket just because they have the most creative type of ice cream.
Sure.
So we can just go with, the gut feel on this one,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Let's run it.
You can imagine it doesn't have to be Dairy Queen. If you're buying a pint, it can be this type of flavor. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, first round matchup, you've got a chocolate dipped cone. This is a classic from Dairy Queen versus the Choco Brownie Extreme Blizzard. I would imagine it's chocolate ice cream with brownies, maybe some caramel in there.
Mhm. Yeah, my girlfriend loves the chocolate dipped cones. Like whenever we're on the Cape with my
Really?
family in the summer,
That's not a
big
bad
fan.
choice.
Mhm. And I'm personally not a huge fan of like brownies and ice cream.
Oh man,
Uh,
Jack, we're already at a crossroads. Brownie is
well,
my sucker. Like that might be my favorite dessert in general is a
mm,
brownie.
a brownie on its own is fine, but like a brownie and ice cream, I feel like it gets stale. It gets like not as good. Like it's either too hard or like a weird texture. I would go with the dipped cone here, but I'm not so partial that I will deny you choosing the brownie. So I'll leave it up to you.
I'll go with the brownie.
All right.
Just because I just think that's fire.
No, I got you. That's fair.
Now you've got cotton candy flavored Blizzard versus mint Oreo Blizzard.
I think this is an easy one for me, and I hope we're on the same page. I love me some mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Yeah, all right.
Cotton candy flavor, meh. Nah.
I'm in on the mint Oreo. All right, so now you've got
Ooh.
strawberry cheesecake Blizzard treat with the trademark and
Mhm.
Oreo trademark, cookie Blizzard trademark treat.
I love Oreos. Huge Oreo guy. I think
Yeah.
strawberry cheesecake blizzard sounds fire, but like Oreo flavors,
Or
top.
cookies and cream Oreo flavor ice cream is a powerhouse.
Big time.
This is
It's
a
big.
tough matchup for
Now,
anybody that's drawing it.
do they have Daddy's Dairy near you? It's like maybe it's just a Massachusetts thing or a
Oh,
local
I've
thing.
never heard of that.
It is. They do like hella soft serve flavors. They have
Oh,
coffee Oreo. They have peanut butter Oreo. They have
oh
like
man.
soft serve Oreo flavors. So good. So good.
I'm a
Anyways,
big fan of ice cream might be one of my favorite desserts too. I don't
ice
eat
cream
it a
is very good.
lot, but
Soft
ice
serve
cream
ice
is a
cream though?
heater.
Are you hard ice cream or soft serve ice cream? What's better?
Soft serve.
Clears
Yeah, I like
hard
that.
ice cream. Soft
Even
serve
when
is
I have
so much
hard ice
better.
cream, unless like I'm eating out of like a pint, which is
Mhm.
traditionally what I do now. But like back in the day when I was eating
You'd
like
mix it up.
scooping it in the bowl, you
Yep,
beat it
mash
until
it
it's
up.
soft. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Agree.
what you do.
Agree. W. Okay. What do we
Actually,
got
I'm
here?
really slamming back milkshakes if it's up to me.
Milkshakes are goated.
Yeah.
Milkshakes very good.
Okay.
I had a shamrock shake the other day. Someone brought it home for me.
Ooh.
Fire. Very good.
We'll see how many calories I have left after dinner today.
See?
Sam deserves a
Loaded.
slap for saying that one. All right.
Very good.
Now we're back to the bracket. You have the drumstick trademark, Arrow trademark, caramel blizzard treat, strawberry sundae on the other end.
Mhm.
Any preliminary thoughts?
Uh, strawberry sundae is fine. I don't really know what is the drumstick arrow caramel like.
Drumstick is like, well, you know what drumsticks are, right?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
cones with
So
the
this probably has
peanuts.
pieces of cone in it. I think
Okay.
Arrow is just the brand that makes it. Or no,
Okay.
Arrow is a chocolate bar brand.
Okay.
And then they have caramel mixed in with
Mhm.
this as well.
Okay, so cherry sundae is probably good. I'm not a huge strawberry guy in general, so I'd
Really?
probably lean the drumstick thing. I like strawberry
I
ice
lean
cream and I like
drumstick
stuff, but like
too.
chunks of strawberries, not a huge fan.
Now you've
Okay.
got cinnamon cookie dough blizzard treat versus it's the classic hot fudge sundae.
I feel like I might get more hate for this. Not a huge cookie dough and ice cream guy.
Yeah,
No,
you don't like the brownies either.
yeah, it's just like it's stale for me. It gets in there. I don't like cookie dough ice cream. I would choose a lot of stuff over it. I'd lean hot fudge sundae here.
I've never had cinnamon cookie dough.
It sounds okay,
I
but
feel like
like
that's pretty good. But I actually think hot fudge sundae is kind of a classic. So
hot fudge sundae,
and
great.
if you do it right, like the hot fudge kind of makes it rule. So
Mm,
I can't be too down on you on that one.
hmm
Now
Okay,
you've got cherry sundae versus turtles trademark with pecans blizzard trademark treat.
trademark. Cherry sundae is probably good, but like, what is
I've never
turtles
had
with pecans? I think it's like some chocolate thing, like a
turtles is a
brand.
chocolate, I believe.
I feel like I'd like that better, but like I won't hate you if you want to go cherry sundae here. I'm
No,
impartial.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't know if I would like cherry. What the hell is
Mhm.
score trademark
I'll
blizzard
do a
trademark
Google.
treat? Okay, you've got
Or
that versus
is
summer berry cheesecake
okay,
blizzard treat.
a chocolate toffee bar produced by the Hershey Company.
What
So
is
it's like toffee.
toffee?
It's like Heath bar. Have you ever had Heath bar?
No.
I'm a fan, but I'm impartial here. Summer berry cheesecake sounds good too, so I'll let you pick.
Well, I don't know.
Neither of these screams out to me. Well, it's like
I lean the
toffee versus
chocolate one. I
cheesecake.
don't really care for
Okay,
berry ice cream as much.
that's fine. So I think you'd like it. It's like how do I describe toffee? It's like butter toffee. You've never had toffee like Heath Bar?
I can't remember.
It's pretty good. It's good. I'm a fan. Okay.
We are down to the last matchup of this first round on this side now. If you're new, these brackets for whatever reason make you go side by side, so we're not going to get to the other side until the end. But this one, chocolate sundae, kind of a classic, a little bit redundant with the hot fudge.
That's what I was going to say.
Versus Royal Oreo Blizzard treat, 2 trademarks in there. The Royal Oreo is kind of a unit. I mean, you have the fudge in the middle.
Hot fudge in the middle?
Yeah, you have the fudge in
it's
the
gotta
middle
be
with the
that.
Oreo. That's a
It's
unit.
gotta be
That's
that.
a tough matchup for
Well, because like
anybody.
chocolate sundae versus hot fudge sundae, why would I want cold chocolate? Like, just give me the hot fudge at that point. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways,
Now, second round, Choco Brownie Extreme Blizzard trademark treat versus Mint Oreo trademark Blizzard trademark.
I would lean mint chocolate chip ice cream here. I know you like the brownie.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I think that's probably pretty good. I haven't had
Mint
it.
Oreo sounds fire.
See, ice cream, like this type of thing, like I wish I could have all of it. Like I wish I could try all of these and have an opinion.
Yeah. We could
It's
do a
tough.
live stream, us going to Dairy Queen, trying all the flavors.
Yeah, it's like Sam Gets Fat. Like it's an Always Sunny title card, and that's all it is. And it's just me slamming ice cream with Jack. Now we are on to Oreo trademark Cookie Blizzard trademark treat versus Drumstick trademark Arrow trademark Caramel Blizzard.
You don't
treat.
have to say the trademark. I feel like Drumstick Caramel sounds really good. I'm a big fan of Oreo though, so I'm like, what are you leaning? What are you thinking here?
I think both of these are probably good. I think any cookies and cream ice cream is always a tough out, though. I think it's good.
I agree. It's tough for me to out something that I know is
That's like the safe,
top-notch.
like that is the chicken fingers and fries of ice cream orders.
I agree. I'd back it.
So
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I will say I'm a big Moose Tracks guy though. Sucker for peanut butter and chocolate.
Peanut butter. Well, it might be on the other side. We don't know.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm hoping.
We have a whole new world to explore, Jack. All right, hot fudge sundae versus turtles with pecan blizzard treat. I like how some of these have the trademark, some don't. Some say treat, some don't. But at least they're labeled, so we don't have to guess.
Yeah,
That was the problem with some of the other brackets. Like it was just a picture of ice cream, and I was like, "What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know what it is."
Yeah, that's an L. I feel like turtles with pecans would be good, but hot fudge sundae is a classic.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
You gotta go. Hot
I'm in
fudge.
on the hot fudge sundae. Now you've got the Score Blizzard versus the Royal Oreo Blizzard.
I'm a big toffee guy, but having the hot fudge in there is kind of goated.
I know this is making me want to go get one, man. We're like low key doing a free ad for Dairy Queen.
Can confirm it's hot fudge in there, right? I've never had it. It's not brownie.
Think it is. It's
Okay.
something. It's some kind of fudge.
Okay.
It might not be hot because it would melt it, but you're getting some extra.
Okay, I got you.
We have 3 Oreos in our final 4 of this side of the bracket.
Oreo's good, man.
Mint
Oreo's
Oreo
good.
versus Oreo regular.
I sort of like the extra thing of the mint, but I won't complain either way. Both are good. If you'd
That's
rather
fine.
go normal,
It's different.
Okay.
Because we would
It
have
adds
to
a
really
little bit.
crunch the numbers here if you put Royal Oreo through versus regular Oreo.
Yeah. Hot
Is that
fudge
what you
sundae
like?
versus Royal Oreo. I'm partial to a hot fudge sundae, if you want to be honest.
That's fine. That's a pretty good run. Now you have Mint Oreo versus Hot Fudge Sundae. This is the final 4 matchup. The winner of this side of the bracket.
Here, I would probably lean with the Oreo. I just think
Okay.
Oreo is good, and I wouldn't complain either. I feel like mint Oreo versus normal cookies and cream was probably the finals. I feel like it was close to the final 4 matchup. So
You have O. Henry Peanut Butter Blizzard Treat. This is on the new side of the bracket now versus Cone.
yeah, weird because my brother's name is Henry.
Well, that's part of the reason why I'm laughing, but this is literally just called Cone.
Yeah,
Like they didn't even put like vanilla ice cream cone. It just says Cone.
like I said, I'm a big peanut butter guy, so I'd probably go with the peanut butter one.
That's fine. I agree with that. Peanut butter is a big winner for me. Now you have Smarties Blizzard versus Banana Split.
Mickey Mouse. Talk about a Mickey Mouse fucking matchup. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I know. We just had the battle of the Oreo flavors on the other side. Now you got Smarties, which suck, in a Banana Split, which I don't think anybody's ordered since 1950.
Not a fan of Smarties, so I'd probably just have to default lean to Banana Split.
That's fine.
Bananas are fine.
Kind of out on the Smarties. I thought those were kind of mid.
Mhm.
Now you've got Dreamsicle Dip Cone, which is orange coating, And a pineapple sundae.
What is this Mickey Mouse bullshit? Like, what are
This
we
is
doing?
bad. I should have hit shuffle on the seating. This is my bad. My bad on this one.
I like pineapples as much as the next guy, but a dreamsicle cone actually sounds okay.
That's kind of a
Fine.
classic ice cream type thing.
Dreamsicle good.
I'm a
like
big pineapple guy too, but I don't know. With
Pineapples
ice
are good.
cream, it's different.
Yeah,
I
feel
don't like
it'd
the
be
fruity
weird.
ice creams. I don't.
Mm-mm.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups Blizzard Treat versus Brownie Dough Blizzard Treat. Well, not for you, it's a tough choice, but for me, this would be a tough choice.
This is not even close for me. I told you when I started, Reese's goated candy, love peanut butter. This would be a go-to. I'd probably ask for it with chocolate ice cream instead of vanilla, but even so,
that's a W.
Fire. Peanut butter cups.
I'm a big brownie guy.
So good.
Big on the brownies, but I have to agree. I think peanut butter ice cream is really good, especially if you do it right.
Peanut butter Oreo soft serve, it's goated.
Well, now they're one-upping you. Now you have Royal Reese's Brownie Blizzard Treat versus Caramel Sundae.
See, I
the exhale
of
distress.
I feel like that's like peanut butter sauce in the middle, which would be fire. But I feel like it might almost be too much peanut butter, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And a caramel sundae, very good. Very good.
No, I can't allow this. You've got Reese's and brownies in this blizzard.
I'm fine with either. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you.
That's a wagon. Chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard treat versus summer berry sundae. Why do they have so many different berry flavors?
This is L. I'm not a fan of chocolate chip cookie dough at all. I would probably go blizzard sundae there, but I'm fine. No, but I'm okay with it.
I'd put it through.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Now, what is this? Is it? Oh, it has options for me to do a play-in. Well, too bad.
They just skip. Yeah, they just skip two. Whatever. Anyway,
Mickey Mouse, peanut butter blizzard treat. O. Henry versus banana split.
I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Peanut butter, please.
Dreamsicle dip cone versus Reese's peanut butter cups blizzard treat.
Come on, Reese's peanut butter. This is like the peanut butter side versus the Oreo side. Let's be real.
It is. We should have shuffled it.
That's all right.
My bad.
We're good. We're good.
Reese's brownie blizzard royal versus chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard.
Not close.
I know you don't like the cookie. Brownie. These traditionally would be pretty tough matchups, but I can understand. Now you got O. Henry versus. I mean, this is peanut butter.
But Reese's, you gotta lean Reese's. Although Reese, you notice the spelling.
Let's go to the review on the O. Henry. What's in that?
Let's take a look.
What's in that?
O. Henry peanut. It's a chocolate bar. Peanut butter blizzard. Okay. So many cravings all the time with the O. Henry peanut butter blizzard treat. You don't have to choose. Okay, I don't need this whole ass fucking thing. I'm just gonna Google O. Henry what it is. O. Henry is a candy bar containing peanuts, caramel, and fudge coated in chocolate.
It's kind of heat.
It is. I would still lean
peanut butter Reese's.
I would lean peanut butter.
I needed to have it go to the review because it looked like it could be something special. Now this one, you've got the regular Reese's Blizzard versus the Royal Reese's Blizzard with brownies.
I would lean regular Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay. I leave the choices up to you for the most part, unless you can't decide. Now we've got our final. You've got the Mint Oreo Blizzard versus the Reese's Blizzard. Jack is in distress.
I would lean Reese's peanut butter cup frozen treat here.
Okay.
I'm big Reese's.
There you have it.
Reese's,
the number one Blizzard. Now you can't see anymore because it made me.
Is that back-to-back pod W's for Reese's? I think it might be. Because we did candy last time, right?
I think we did, yeah, because we had like runts. And we were like, why is this in here?
And Reese's running the table these last couple podcasts. Kind of a dub for Reese's. Getting the free promo from us because they clearly need it.
W Reese's.
Love to see it. I mean, that's about it for me today. That was a fun bracket. I enjoyed the Dairy Queen. No Dairy Queens near me, so I don't get it often. But like when we're on the cave and stuff,
now it's actually not that far from Ball.
There you go. Maybe we have
if you
to
leave
stop
Ball
by.
and you GPS Dairy Queen, you can hook yourself up before you leave.
We didn't talk about Ball on this pod. We talked about it pregame yesterday. Sam was very upset at Ball the other night because my team was goated. My team was so good.
Well, it's not. I'm not upset about that. I'm just upset about
I have
ranging levels of effort within the game. While some people are hobbled warriors injured getting up the floor and others just not getting back.
I've turned myself into a shooter. Very nice. It's very good. Anyways, let's wrap it there. Let's call it. Let's good show today. My two promos as always. Subscribe to the YouTube. How about them Celtics? Leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify. If you're not gonna leave a 5-star, just be mean to us in the comments.
There's no point.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
just be mean on YouTube.
But hit the 3 dots on Spotify. Leave the 5-star review. We appreciate you very much, and I will let Sam wrap up the show.
Yes, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're on YouTube. How about them Celtics? Perhaps the heavy YouTube.
I'm not sure if this is going on the heavy YouTube. We will figure it out.
Our pre-games will be there though.
Yes, heavy. Go subscribe to Heavy on Celtics regardless on YouTube.
Yeah, heavy's good to us. They like us. We like
Heavy.
them. We type words for them, and they compensate us for our hard work. So make sure you go sub to Heavy on Celtics YouTube. If not us, you'll see friends of the show there. So you can't miss out. Adam and Keith, both good guys. So you'll find them if not us. But subscribe to our channel first because we're almost at 300 and we want to hit it.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Then like the video, leave comments. I love going through the comments and reading what people have to say.
My highlight of my day.
Yeah, I always go and look. Some of the last ones were actually pretty funny. I forget exactly what it said, but I did laugh.
Y'all are funny. Y'all are very.
And then if you're not watching, then you're listening, and you just had a miserable. You're not listening anymore because you just had a visual thing for the last 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, go watch
but
it though.
Make sure you follow us on whatever streaming service. Leave a nice rating. If you're not going to leave a nice rating, don't leave one. Just make fun of us on YouTube, like we already said. On top of that, at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on Facebook just by the name of the podcast. And you can follow Jack at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. My goodness. Say that again so I get it right. At Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. And you can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA on Twitter for some complaint. That's it for us.
Tic-tac-toe.